Just to respond to your question, the film that Cheryl made follows the lives of four men who emerge from prison and come into this writing group. And over the next year, you kind of see how their lives unfold and what happens. So that film sort of dramatizes, I think, both the challenge and the opportunity. If you look at the mass prison system, about 75% of the people in the Massachusetts prison system came out of foster care. So what you're dealing with is a population of people who didn't have successful parents, who were traumatized, who were, sent around to different families, and ended up, with substance abuse and mental health and criminal records, because that's the only opportunity they had. So what Cheryl is working with is kind of helping those people to reframe their lives and retell their stories and see themselves in a different way.
I ran into a woman earlier this year who worked with a nonprofit in Cleveland, and her target was children of incarcerated parents and children who have also become the victims of gun violence and then themselves have been incarcerated. And one of the things that we talked about is like, how do you get these people to talk? Because they lived under a cone of silence. They have never been asked their opinion on anything.
Exactly.
How do you bring them out of their shells in order to get into, I guess this is a certain amount of self-actualization and an incredible amount of talk therapy, or the equivalent of, isn't it?
It is. I think it's trust building initially. There has to be some level of why do you want to know this? And doing the film was a really interesting project because there had to be an understanding that this wasn't exploitation, that this wasn't some sort of disaster tourism into the lives of others. I think you asked me about success stories. Of course, I'm thinking about that right now. There are 3 folks currently that have come out of our prison reentry program that have leadership roles in our nonprofit. And I think seeing that kind of, credible messengers speaks volumes to anything that I could say to somebody about why they ought to talk to me. That relationship building is really resonates for others. I think that all of our workshops are based on, I mentioned, representation before, is based on, why should I listen to you? Why does what you say matter to me?